Hey guys, welcome back to another plan with me. This week I'm planning from February 5th to the 11th, and I'm using this Caress Press kit called Snowbound, I think. And as you can see, I didn't get a full kit, so I definitely needed to pull from my label stash. And I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty tricky. I didn't have a lot other than like variations of navy blue. The brown was really hard to match, and surprisingly, the light pale blue was tricky too. And I think it's just because I've used a lot of the extras I had in that color. Looking at it now, I think it's fine. I think it looks good. I think it looks cohesive, but you can definitely tell that there are variations in color. But it's okay. It's fine. I really wish that Caress Press offered label add-ons. That would be so helpful, especially if they were pretty much like all little things and fancy labels, because I just end up cutting up all the full boxes and it doesn't look the best, and it's kind of annoying to write on. Speaking of writing, I'm so pissed off. I just got a brand new 3-pack, I think, of these Uniball Signo .38 pens. And they're already giving me problems. They're new, they're full of ink, but it was like drying out on me in this spread, and it did it on a previous spread too. I'm just frustrated because the pens I had before these, the exact same pens, lasted me years without a single skip. So I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know if it's because I got like old stock from Amazon and I should have paid the extra money and just gotten them from Michael's. I don't know, but I'm annoyed. Maybe I should have gotten them from Staples or something. Who's to say? Maybe they just suck now. If you have a recommendation for a black .38 pen, please leave it down below. I can't even do .5. I just have very big handwriting, so I need a very thin pen. Anyway, you'll also see eventually that I didn't have enough full boxes to do my normal sidebar, because I don't like marking anything on my sidebar. It just doesn't make sense to me since this is just memory keeping, and I don't really track much. Like, I don't track my steps anymore. I don't really track like my weight, although I am starting again. And so I did use a square and a pumpkin paper Kotera just to mark my weight for the week because I needed something. I don't keep track of my work hours just because I'm salary. Like, I'm not going to make any extra money whether or not I work longer than 40 hours a week. So it's just, anyway, all that to say, there is a random white space area on my sidebar that I don't totally love, but it is what it is. I should have left a full box off of Saturday, but I really wanted to use that double box, and the only other place I would have been able to put it is either Thursday and Friday or Monday and Tuesday, and for whatever reason I just didn't like that. So yeah, whatever. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say about the spread. This artwork is very, very pretty, and I'm all about the color scheme. I really like the color schemes that Caress Press tends to do. I just wish they would do label samplers. Anyway. As far as plans this week go, it was another boring week. I was job hunting unsuccessfully yet again. I did have some work stress because my boss wanted to have a meeting regarding sales calls, and that like made me so sick to my stomach because it's one of those things where I don't care about this job enough to try, but I have severe anxiety, and I'm very scared of confrontation. So I was under the impression that this phone call was going to be like how I need to improve and how I need to make more phone calls and all this stuff. But it wasn't. It was fine. And if you saw my plan with me where I was talking about how I had homework to do for the Big Boss Man, sorry, I just hit my desk with my knee, and I ended up just not doing it, she said it was fine and I didn't have to do it. So I was nervous for no reason, but just like the way she said, like, we should have a chat tomorrow. It's like, that sounds not good, you know? Another thing that happened this week was I was calling around to mechanics because I needed to get prices for how much it would cost to fix my wheel bearing. And if you've been following me, you'll know that my boyfriend has been doing pretty much all of my car maintenance. And also I have a very old piece of shit, so I just don't bother with any of the extra stuff, you know? So I haven't been to a mechanic or talked to a mechanic in so long. And the closest I got was I went to Pep Boys to get a new tire, and they treated me like such horse shit. And I had an appointment scheduled for like 10 a.m. that day. And when I got there at 10 a.m., they were like, oh, you're going to wait for your car? It's going to be like 6 hours. No, it's not. No, it's not. So anyway, they can go fuck themselves. So the point is, I hadn't been to a mechanic in a very long time, and they scare me. They make me really nervous. I know they're going to try to take advantage of me, this, that, the other, whatever. It's just not fun. And I didn't know this, and maybe you think I'm stupid for that, not knowing this, but again, I haven't had to go to a mechanic, so whatever. But none of them will even fucking do what you ask until you let them assess the car themselves. But the thing is, they charge you to assess the car. At least all the ones around here do. Every single one, I was like, hey, I need a wheel bearing hub assembly. What would that cost for the cheapest one? And they'll be like, we don't even talk price until we've assessed your car. And, maybe the first thing we should do is we should just have you bring in the car just so we can take a look and see what's really wrong. How's tomorrow? No. The only guy who gave me a price without giving me an issue, it was a very high price. I already knew what the price range would be, and this was like beyond the highest price point. But I have a feeling he was so nice and accommodating because he was like out in the suburbs, and it was like a place with like 5 stars. I honestly only contacted them because they had chat and I didn't have to talk to anybody. And again, crippling anxiety. And then I called this guy in Philadelphia. He had 5 stars. And it seemed promising. I was so sick. I was like sweating. I was so nervous while I was talking to him. But he said like for the refurbished one, which is like the cheapest one, and the labor, it'll be this much. And I was like, okay, great. Like, let's book it. But then he was like, but it might not be your wheel bearing. And I was like, oh, well, I got the other one replaced like 3 years ago. And everything I've read and everyone I've talked to said that you're really supposed to replace them both at the same time, because if one goes, the other does as well. So it's definitely that. Like, my car is acting the exact same. And he's like, well, that's not necessarily true. Sometimes one just lasts forever. And also a lot of car issues make the same noise and feel the same. And, if we replace that, it might not fix your problem. And then you would have spent all this money. And I was like, no, it's fine, because even if that's not the issue, I know I need a new wheel bearing hub assembly, so let's just do it. And he's like, yeah, but you don't know. He's like, I would really prefer that we look at the car. And I was like, well, how much is that going to be? It's like $150 just for you to fucking look at my car. Do you know how upset I would have been if I paid that and then he told me it was the wheel bearing hub assembly? I would have killed myself. So I just I hate mechanics. I really fucking do. I wish I was a big, strong dude who didn't want to have cute, dainty fingers, because I would just buy all the tools and do everything myself. Anyway, besides that, I just, I don't know. I didn't have the best week. I did have fun on Saturday. We took my mom out for her, how old am I? Her 63rd birthday. And it was like a little annoying because at first I asked my grandmother if she wanted us to come up to her and just like order takeout, and we could pick up the food and like spend time all together for my mom's birthday, and she was too tired. So then Joe and I just took my mom out for dinner, and then my grandma was like, LOL, actually I feel great. Do you want to come? And I was like, no, we already made plans. And then she was upset that we made new plans, and it was just a whole stupid thing, and everybody sucks and everybody can shut up except my mom. We had a really good time. And yeah, I went to a Super Bowl party on Sunday. It was it was more like a Super Bowl gathering, and I wasn't even in the room with the TV at all until Usher came on. Didn't even watch the commercials because I just could not be bothered. And it was really fun. We just talked the whole time. But anyway, let's just get into the day by day because nothing else really happened. I did screw up and forgot to press record before Monday, so all of Monday is missing, so I'll just go over it quickly. The first thing I marked was that I couldn't get out of bed because I woke up freezing cold at 6 in the morning, drenched in sweat once again, and I couldn't get back to sleep. I couldn't warm up. Even after I changed and got back into bed, I was just so cold. So it was a terrible night's sleep. Then I just marked that I couldn't get back to sleep, and I was up since 6 a.m. Then I marked that I worked from 7:50 to 5:30, just trying to get as much overtime as possible to carry into the week for all the days that I sleep in because I can't wake the fuck up. Then I marked that I had severe apartment anxiety. I believe, forgive me, I don't remember right off the top of my head, but I think this was after I think my roommate got a car the previous week and we decided that we were going to renew our lease. And I was just getting really anxious because I am a control freak and I haven't had a physical roommate in 8 months. So I was just starting to panic about having somebody else, to exist with. Then I marked that I did my laundry. I did a workout. I marked a bunch of stuff off my to-do list, and then I watched Drag Race while filling my previous planner spread. And then the final thing for Monday was that I job hunted way too late. Then the first thing Tuesday was that I went to work and I used leftover deco from a kit to mark that. Sorry I didn't go over all the stickers on Monday. I'm just trying to get through this. Then with this printable book, forgive me, it's a new shop to me. If you're interested though, I will I'll try to remember to link them, or I don't know, just ask below and I'll figure it out. I marked that I started a new audiobook called The First Lie Wins, and I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. It was just too far-fetched for me, and I think I mentioned this somewhere before, maybe in a previous Plan With Me, I'm not sure. I like far-fetched, but this was just not enjoy. I don't know. Maybe it's for you, maybe it's just not for me, so I didn't really like it. Then with a Sticky Perks Easy Mac, is that what it's called? Sticker, I marked that I made macaroni and cheese, the regular kind. With this Ghost from Once More With Love, I marked that I pulled stickers. Then with a Stick with the Plan Co Girl, I marked that I watched the first 50 Shades of Grey movie. I had seen the first and I think all or most of the second one, and I just never finished because, in my opinion, please don't get upset, they're terrible. But I couldn't remember how terrible, and I just needed something mind-numbing to watch. So I put the first one on, and dear God, it's terrible. And you don't have to tell me it's because it's a fanfic. Trust me, I know. I read some of the fanfic when it was a fanfic. Terrible, terrible, terrible. You can tell. It doesn't even seem like fanfiction. It seems like fanfiction by an 8-year-old, but whatever. An 8-year-old who doesn't actually know what sadism and masochism are. Just terrible. Anyway, moving on, I ended up falling asleep, and my boyfriend ended up calling me asking if he could come over to run. So I got out of bed to let him in, and then he said something stupid. I can't remember what it was. I don't even think he meant to say something stupid, but it got me all butthurt and it ruined my mood. I can't remember though. Anyway, probably something that doesn't even matter. Then moving on to Wednesday, the first thing I marked was that I got to work at 8:04 in the morning, which is noteworthy because I woke up very late that morning and I somehow managed to either catch all the lights or jaywalk and got to work much faster than I thought I would. Then I marked that I called mechanics again this day. Oh, it was terrible, but, it is what it is. Then I marked that I almost cried because I was getting really overwhelmed by all of their responses. And, not all of them were rude, only a few of them were. But either way, I just felt like I was being talked down to the whole time. And maybe it's just in my head. I am very sensitive. I am. I wasn't loving it. It was making me really sick. So, I almost cried. Then with the not Pink Diamond Planner Co. What the hell am I talking about? Pumpkin Paper Coterra. I marked that I finally scheduled an imaging appointment that I had been putting off for a very long time, mainly because of pricing. I kept being told different things, but I finally called a place and asked them how much it would cost me with my insurance, and they told me, And then I confirmed it with my insurance. And so, I mean, it ended up all costing me about like $1,000 between the imaging and biopsy. And maybe that's not a lot to you. It is a lot to me, but it just, you have to make sure you don't have cancer, unfortunately. So I scheduled it. Then with a munchkin saying I'd rather die, I marked that my boss wanted to have a chat the next day, which was really, really stressful. I had to stew all night thinking about it. Then I stress called my best friend / roommate because I was freaking out about work, basically, and my car. And my boob. I was just not doing well. I'm still not doing well, spoiler alert. Anyway, after that, I marked that I procrastinated by scrolling on TikTok. I just didn't have it in me to do anything productive, and I really didn't want to work out, but I was going to force myself this day. So once I finally got off my ass, I marked that I did an upper body workout with this water bottle that I don't know where I got it from, a printable kit. Then with a TV from Scribble Prints Co., I think, I marked that I watched Drag Race, and I ended up not eating until 8:45 at night, which is insanely late for me. Ever since I got Invisalign, I've been trying to eat a little bit later just so I'm not hungry for a snack in the middle of the night, because every time you eat, you have to wash your aligners and brush your teeth, and it's a pain in the ass. So I am eating later than I normally would, but eating at 8:45, no thank you. Don't like that, but I procrastinated for too long, and here we are. Then I called Joe for some reason. I have no idea why. And then the final thing on Wednesday, I marked, I read. Moving on to Thursday, the first thing I marked was that I slept in super late. It's just harder and harder for me to wake up as the days go on. Then this is really stupid, I know, but it's a big deal for me because this is the type of person I am and this is the type of anxiety I have. I used this Pumpkin Paper Co. egg to mark that I felt so brave because I peeled my hard-boiled egg at work. And I know this is dumb, but I'm embarrassed to peel it because they smell. They smell like farts. And I'm worried that if I'm peeling a hard-boiled egg, someone's going to think the smell is me. I know that's stupid. I know, but usually what I do is I peel it at home, I put it in a Ziploc bag, and then I don't open it until I'm in my office all by myself. But I didn't have time this morning to peel my egg, so I did it at work because I'm just so brave. Then I marked that I called the one mechanic back who kept saying oh, well, we could do that, but it might not be that, and then you'll be out all this money, and blah, blah, blah. I called him back just to say that I talked to a friend of mine who's a mechanic, and they said get the wheel bearing changed. And then he's like, okay, but just so you know, whatever. I ended up not going there. This was the last time I talked to him because even though he was very friendly, I was feeling very pressured. And then I started getting paranoid. What if they purposely fuck up my car because I didn't let them do the $150 diagnostic? What if they fuck up the wheel bearing hub assembly so that they can charge me for another thing? I saw that undercover news report with the mechanics, and they do that type of shit, so I started getting really freaked out and just couldn't do it. Then with a bad day sticker, I marked that I was just sick with nerves all day because I was still waiting for this meeting and it hadn't happened. So I finally, and this is very unlike me, but I took it upon myself to message my boss and say when she wanted to schedule the meeting, and we decided to do it at 3 p.m. or something. So I had to eat lunch, which is hard. I'm not good at eating when I'm stressed, but I did it because again, I'm just so brave. Anyway, the meeting went well. It was fine. Everything was good. So worrying for nothing. But in my defense, she did say it in a way that was ominous. And then the final thing for Thursday was that I worked on my puzzle. And actually, it was technically 2 puzzles because I accidentally, don't ask how, I mixed the pieces of a puzzle I had already finished with another puzzle that I wanted to do. One was 500 and one was 1,000 pieces. So I was basically doing 2 puzzles at a time and sorting through 1,500 pieces. It was fun, actually. I'm not going to lie, it was kind of fun. It was annoying. I wish I hadn't done that, but it was fun. Then moving on to Friday, the first thing I marked was that I slept in. I also had my short work day this day from home and marked that just using a laptop from a printable kit. With this ice water sticker, I marked that I dumped water all over my floor. All over my floor. My entire water bottle was full, came crashing down to the ground, and I was upset. Then I cleaned that up as well as did some other cleaning. I did a workout. Then I marked that I had to get my apartment ready for my roommate because she was coming back and I was leaving. So I left out the cat's wet food cans and wrote their names on them so she would know when to feed who what. And I did the litter so that she wouldn't have to do it. I filled their water and cleaned their area and left her a bunch of sticky notes all over the place as reminders because she was going to have to take care of trash and recycling on Sunday. So I left like notes on the trash can, notes on the door. And that is why this emoji is holding a notepad and pencil, because that's what I meant by get the apartment ready. Then with another one of these printable stickers, I marked that Joe and I went to Wendy's just to get fries. I think they were having like, I don't know, Dollar Friday or something. I can't remember. Then we went back to his place and watched The Challenge and the movie Thanksgiving, which wasn't amazing, but I enjoyed it. Moving on to Saturday, the first thing I marked was that I paid my rent. And again, this is from a printable. With another TikTok sticker, I marked that I scrolled, which I've been getting better at not doing, but it is hard because when you're like depressed, it's a real easy way to escape. Then I marked that I got ready and used this sticker from a little sampler. With this Sticky Perks clock, I marked that Joe and I went to meet this guy who he bought like an old clock off of Facebook Marketplace from, because usually these clocks go for like $100+ and he found one for 10 that this guy was selling. So we went to pick that up, and then we rushed around looking for baby gifts because originally we weren't going to go to a baby shower, and last minute Joe decided that it was really nice of the guy to invite us and we should go. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't want to go. In hindsight, I'm happy I went, but at the time, I just really wanted to skip one event. We very rarely skip things, and then when we do skip them, we somehow still have to do something. Anyway, I'm glad we went, but I'm just tired. Then we met my mom at a restaurant in Cherry Hill, which is a little bit of a drive for her because I was trying to, not have her drive far, but she actually suggested the place, so it worked for me. It was really good. It was really fun. And then what did we do? Oh, I filled up Joe's gas tank because he's been driving me around for months. I don't have a car. So whenever I need to go somewhere on a weekend, he has to drive me. Then I didn't have any space for this, and I cut this all out. I struggled so much with all of these labels, but I cut most of it out for you guys. You're welcome. I couldn't figure out, I really wanted to fit both of these things. I don't know why. I didn't have to, but I wanted to. So I shoved them both on one label, and I marked with an old Sweet Cry Design shopping bag that we went to the food store. And then we actually went to like 4 different food stores to get different things in different places. Like I like the pasta sauce from Wegmans. I needed this from there because it was on sale, and then like all the places. And then the final thing with this sleeping emoji, I want to say, I think. I fell asleep during the movie we were trying to watch, and I can't remember what it was. Finally, moving on to Sunday, the first thing I marked was that I laid around for quite a while, which was actually fine with me this day. I was like happy about it because I knew we had plans later on and I needed to relax. Then we stopped at UPS. I think he had to pick something up. I don't remember. We went to UPS, something to do with the package. Then we went to Dollar Tree out in the suburbs. Oh, it was glorious. It was so nice and clean and tidy. It was lovely. Then we went to Goodwill because it was right by Dollar Tree, and Joe wanted to try to find a frame for a picture that a friend had gotten him at like a flea market, and he actually found one, which was shocking, but it's probably because it was like a nicer Goodwill. Then we went to the Super Bowl party, and I did not watch football at all. And then I just wanted to mark that I talked the entire game, and it was really fun. Also, the couple hosting, they are having a baby, and she's currently pregnant, so she showed me like her nursery and all that, and it was cute. And they also have a new dog. I've noticed everybody gets a dog and then immediately gets pregnant. I don't understand. And then the final thing with this munchkin holding a pillow was that I had the Sunday scaries. Anyway, that is everything for this week. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.